been on a few of these kind of commercial observer webinars where I'm
Right.
seeing all these owners saying, are you guys still, long in LA and Southern California? Or, there's articles every which way, right? That's the extreme. People are moving out in droves in New York City or San Francisco. That was already happening somewhat, but this is
already happening.
accelerant. But does that mean multifamily is just dead, or it's just?
I couldn't disagree more.
Yeah.
So needless to say, I talk to every builder in town on a pretty, often basis.
Yeah.
Demand is insatiable. The demand is strong. The outlook is long. The quality of the Los Angeles marketplace compared to New York, San Francisco, Chicago, Miami, the major cities. LA has more going for itself in a pandemic time than any other city.
Agreed.
If you want to live if you want to live in the city and still have space, you can find it. You want to live central, you can find it. You want to have a 3-bedroom apartment, you can find it. And it's all relatively, depending on the area you want to live in, while not affordable, it is not exorbitant like in New York, San Francisco.
Right.
So in my opinion, even though as people are leaving, which there's, and if you look at the history of LA, like Hollywood, for example, in the last 5-10 years, they've lost people. They've lost residents. The net numbers is negative. So, but it depends how you look at those numbers, right? If you look at who's moving to LA, right, especially in a pandemic time, you're chasing jobs here, you're chasing simplicity of life in the sense of like, you don't have to get in a car and drive 10 miles to go to the market. You don't have to go 3 miles to go to a shop. Everything is within your distance and everything is deliverable, right, within a 30-minute window.
Right.
So at the same time, even though some people would say, well, I want to move further away into more open land, well, it can also expose yourself to more people. So being in LA where everything is delivered, I can be very much protective. And I feel like a lot of even my discussions, even with my friends and colleagues that are, my age, that well-to-do, have a home, et cetera, what they're definitely looking more now more than ever is a secondary home. They're not necessarily looking to leave. So when you hear like Zillow and Redfin saying that they've had an uptick in people looking at homes in other cities, and that's why they're saying people are leaving. Right. Well, the conversation needs to be adjusted to say, well, how many of those people are looking for secondary homes? Exactly. Or how many people are sitting at home with a lot of time and thinking of what if, right? But they know they really won't do it, but what if we did do it? So I think that the conversation really needs to be adjusted to say, well, people might be looking for other things, but are they really, really moving? And in a time like pandemic, in a time where we're in, jobs is everything. And when you can't find a job in Riverside, you're going to stay in Los Angeles.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't really buy that people are moving out. I think if it's obviously New York, people are leaving because it's a different animal. You cannot find space.
Yeah.
In San Francisco, you cannot find space.
Right.
In LA, space is everywhere.
Yeah.
So I think that actually LA is going to become a lot more desirable over the next 12, 24 months, more so than it's ever been.
Yeah.
So I actually
agree more.
Yeah. I actually think being bullish on development is very smart, because even still to these days, like we had a building that we just sold, new construction, and it leased up in the first 35 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Fast. Yeah.
It's fast. And then we have another building that's being finished as well, that's leasing up. I think that demand is there. I think certainly amenities are important these days for new development. I think that a lot of these amenities have become a lot more desirable. I have a few friends, for example, that moved to Circa, that tall building in downtown.
Yes.
They moved in during pandemic because of all the amenities that they have. So they don't
have to leave.
They don't have to leave.
Yeah.
They're working from home. They can stay from home, and they want all the amenities in the building.
Right.
Because they know at least even in that building, everybody that can afford that rent has a job and is also trying not to get sick. Right. So I think that the care factor is actually a little bit more controllable in a bigger building.
Right. We actually spoke with Steven Anderson too. And so he was saying that some of the developers are now, all they're doing is their time windows are still, 4, 5, 6 years long. So they already see past this pandemic.
They've already seen past it.
Yeah. But the adjustments they're saying is, now we see instead of just a full lobby or a full floor being co-working, how about if we create or design a home office, right? Like literally based on design, instead of us just like where I'm at, it's just, you know, the bedroom
100%.
gets converted to a office,
Yeah.
right? But they're being mindful of design and going, okay, well, you know, if these things come up in the future where, or if people are just comfortable remote working, right? It's just a normal part of business moving forward, then we should focus on that design amenity.
Couldn't agree more.
And that's why. So,
Couldn't agree more. I have a client that just finished a building, and they were going to have a full kind of common area that was just going to be a lounge.
Mhm.
Instead, they converted it to co-working.
Perfect. Exactly.